Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1 and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Let's get right into it. If you have anything you could add, send it to Southern Prepper 1, southernprepper1@yahoo.com. That's the only email I use in the sense of communicating back and forth to you. So please don't listen to the scammers that are trying to tell you, hey, contact me over at this other place. It's not me. All right, let's get right into it. The small business of the day is a very small company, Tactenna, and what they do is they make antennas for your radios, like your Beifungs. Let me read what they provided the information for. These are homemade. They are made to order. They're very useful because if you've ever had a radio on your gear or on your kit, it keeps you from poking yourself in the eye with the rubber ducky that sticks up. So basically what this does is it comes with a BNC adapter, and you can plug it into your radio on your kit, and then you take the antenna that's about 3 foot long, and you can wind it through your gear over your shoulder, and they'll give you complete instructions. Basically, it replaces your small 5-inch rubber ducky. Now, this is about 3 foot long when you stretch it out, so it uses your body as the antenna. So go check them out. They sent me 2 of them, and these are cool. These are definitely something that we will use permanently on my setup and my son's setup, and it will get rid of that stupid rubber ducky that always gets caught, or if you poke yourself in the eye when you're bending over doing stuff. So thank you. I will give all the information in the description, but there you go. All right, let's get right into it. A boil water notice was issued in Houston on Sunday night, 8 hours after a power outage knocked off services from the East Water Purification Plant. The city is testing the water samples to see when it will be drinkable. As of this morning, I have not heard, so maybe they've got the system back up and running, but there was a lot of people looking for water in Houston. So that's the reason why you need your water supply now. You might say, well, it's for a big, huge emergency that I can see coming. No, it's an emergency can pop up any second that you're going to need water. So have your water plan finalized and have stored water ready to go. I was just in Sam's Club in Florence, Kentucky. While I was shopping for meat for my deep freezer, I was browsing the produce cooler and noticed another man acting shady, like he didn't want anyone to notice what he was doing. He was opening cartons of pre-weighed grapes and berries, taking a few, looking around to see if anyone was watching, and then popping them into his mouth. I confronted him, asked him if he was hungry. His excuse was, they taste like crap. When I asked why he was eating them, he said he was sampling them before he buys. I shook my head at him and told him he was stealing from actual customers and told him he was wrong. A few minutes later, I passed him in another aisle and noticed he didn't put any of the cartons that he opened into his shopping cart. This brazen shoplifting theft is called grazing, and it's happening all over the country from what I'm hearing. Please make your listeners aware that thieves are stealing from you, the customers, when you buy a pre-weighed item. I'm getting a lot of reports of grazing, and that's what the term is, grazing. People are taking stuff out of packages, and I'm also getting people that work at the stores telling me, yes, they're finding packages that are open and part of the product removed. My family and I went to the local Chili's restaurant in Huntsville, Alabama for a nice family meal together. When we arrived, there was hardly any cars in the parking lot. This was a Sunday afternoon when normally the place would be packed. We went inside to get a table and were told that we'd be about a 20-minute wait. The place looked deserted. There was empty tables everywhere. There was only one other couple in front of us who were waiting on the table too. Several of the employees were sitting around watching TV on their phone. We decided to wait, but ended up leaving after about 25 to 30 minutes because we had not been seated yet. Customer service has gotten so bad. It's just like people don't care anymore. Needless to say, I don't plan to go back to this particular Chili's anytime soon. We ended up going to a Five Guys that was nearby, and the customer service and the food were outstanding. This is another report from Houston. The whole city of Houston's on a boil water notice. What a mess. No bottled water anywhere to be found. Luckily, I didn't need any, but I was in Sam's, and everyone seems to be there for bottled water. Also, their snack bar was closed because without water, you can't clean things, you can't do things. So it affected a bunch of restaurants also. Thought I'd share my unusual experience at my local Walmart today. I'm in Northeast Tennessee, and we have about 10,000 residents. Our local Walmart is usually busy but not crazy. I had to pick up an order for 11 a.m. So a pickup grocery order. I got a text at 10:50 saying it was delayed, and they would let me know when it was ready. Okay, no big deal. Well, I haven't heard from them by 3 p.m., so I checked online to see if it was ready. So I went. I had to wait about 5 minutes for a spot. Then I waited over an hour for someone to bring my order out to me. I actually had to catch one of the deliveries and ask what was going on. He told me there was only 3 of them and more orders than they can keep up with. Most of them didn't even come to work for their shift until 3 p.m. It was total chaos. Even in the store, there was only 1 self-checkout lanes, and they were backed up 8 to 10 deep. They were only self-checkout lanes, and they were backed up 8 to 10 people. I've never seen it like this in all the years, and this is 30 plus years I've lived there. I want to share experience I had last night, where for the first time I felt like we were experiencing a collapse of the medical system. My elementary age daughter had a really bad fall in the playground at school, and they called me to get her since she hit her head pretty hard. Well, her pediatrician now closes early at 4 due to ongoing COVID and flu, ? I'm not sure why they are closing early when medical care is needed. The urgent care place would not see a head injury either and send us to the hospital. We are fortunate to live in a good area and have access to 4 great hospitals with 10 to 20 minutes. I choose one that I have personally been to 3 times prior to 2020 for emergency situations. They advertise how fast their ER services are, and I've personally been treated within 10 minutes of times I've been there prior to 2020. I thought the hospital would be right. Even in the midst of cold and flu season, I was wrong. It was very crowded, people lining the hallway. We were triaged and then waited for 3 hours. While waiting, one of the nurses walked by with a box of the vials for samples for the blood and gave it to another nurse, saying this was the last box of the vials in the hospital. We sat there watching people in severe pain, in tears and pain. The nurses had placed an IV port and put them back in the waiting room without treatment. They had been waiting 4 hours already without seeing a doctor or even pain meds given. They were trying to pull out their own IVs just to be able to leave and seek treatment elsewhere, at which point the nurses were threatening to call the police. I'm not sure any hospital was in a better situation, but people were desperate. Understanding the severe cases need priority treatment, we ended up leaving and are waiting to see the doctor this morning. Fortunately, my daughter's feeling better, and we were lucky it wasn't more severe. It was eye-opening, to say the least, to hear the nurses running out of supplies and not being able to help people in need of care. I hope your listeners can just take care of themselves and do their best to stay out of the hospital. This is from another person. From a person that works as a paramedic. I'm a paramedic for one of the largest EMS companies in Oklahoma and would like to give some insights on the strain on our medical system. The major underlying issue and the elephant in the room is this: the vast majority of people using the emergency room as their primary care ER facilities are packed with non-emergency needs. Upwards of 80% full of our 911 calls could and should be seen at an urgent care facility or doctor's office. Hospital emergency rooms cannot deny service to anyone by federal law. Some people who have been sick for days or even weeks go to the emergency room. They are triaged as to severity of their condition. Example, someone with the flu will be seen as a critical patient. Emergency rooms are life-threatening emergencies, not a sore knee from falling 3 days ago. Another issue is staffing. Medical staffs are burning out at an incredible rate. We have been slammed since 2020 with long hours, heavy patient loads, and tougher working condition. It's very frustrating to hear people complain about the medical system when they have no clues about it. Add the shortages of supplies and medication, almost all of which are manufactured in China, India, or Europe, to the equation, and we have a perfect storm. As for those items we do produce domestically, the packaging or ink for lettering or some other piece comes from, you guess it, overseas. And let's not forget, many of the chemicals used in pharmaceuticals come from those evil fossil fuels. I can sum up with this closing statement. If you only get one thing out of everything on this Boots on the Ground, get this: prepare to self-rescue. No one is coming. We took a ride to get our car oil changed in a nearby town with a big Walmart here in Maine. The parking area for the auto service was filled with big trailers. YSY. A lady who was very knowledgeable said they usually have one out there with stuff they need to unload. Today they had 13. She said it's back stock for the most part. One is full of grills. They were not allowed to discount them. They're getting more and more because of the backup of ships getting unloaded. She said her mom lives in Texas and their store has over 50 of the storage connexes in their parking lot. This is Northern Virginia. Price of rotisserie chicken has gone up. While shopping at one of my local supermarkets, Wegmans, I noticed that the price of rotisserie chickens have gone up to $9.99 per chicken. This is up from $6.99 just 1 week ago. You mentioned the dead squirrel about a week ago. I found a dead rat on my driveway. He was good sized and looked to be in good health. I don't have any poison out. This info could indicate that there's some type of virus affecting rats and squirrels that could affect small trapping for food. This is the third or fourth month in a row I have seen 50 cents to $1 increases every month. I will not even be clipping coupons anymore to eat out, and this is Burger King, because it's just getting more expensive. I will be packing food anywhere I travel. She was nice enough to send coupons that she had been getting for months and months, and they showed the meal deal, and every coupon the next time it came out was an increased price, maybe 50 cents, maybe $1, but it's just showing even clipping the coupons helps, but the prices of everything is going up quickly. The amount of dogs being found abandoned on rural properties and advertisements for families giving away their pets have increased in this area a lot. As this is the beginning of this financial downturn, I know this is going to be much worse. People can't afford their pets, to feed their pets anymore. It's heartbreaking. To see photos of dogs curled up in ditches and cats missing their ears, tails is soul-crushing. Our winters are incredibly harsh and pets will freeze if they are abandoned. The shelters and rescue groups are maxed out. What has happened to our society? Love from Canada. I will tell you, 3 days ago, we found a stray cat on our property. We took it in. Today, we have actually found an owner, an 80-year-old lady, needs a cat, and we will be delivering that cat to her. A sweet, sweet cat. Also, my son and family was at church, and they were walking into church, and right there on the steps, there was the tiniest little black cat, the cutest little thing. So they took the little kitten and put it in the truck and then brought it home. So we're looking for a home for that little kitten. My boys are hoping we do not find a home for that cat. I'm seeing more and more stray animals around me. So in the cities, I imagine it's a lot worse. Just got back from Harris Teeter in Fort Mill, South Carolina. No milk, no gallons or half gallons, nothing. All remaining was half gallon of the lactose-free half gallons. Very low on eggs. I have a family member working the Greer South Carolina Walmart. Says they were out of milk one day last week until the truck arrived. Seems to them supplies are coming in slow. I live in Brooklyn, New York. This is a response to a viewer who mentioned a head of lettuce cost $1 and change. On November 27th, at the local fruit market, the cost was $5. I was shocked to see how small it was. It fit in the palm of my hand. I'm talking small. This person says, my side gig is quilting. I make dozens of quilts a year, selling some and giving others for fundraisers in the community. The giveaway ones leads to enough custom works to keep the gig viable. I purchased batting, the stuff that goes in the middle of the quilt, on 40-yard rolls because it's much cheaper this way. Until 2021, this product in the natural unbleached cotton held steady at $230 to $240 per roll. I go through a roll a year. Last year, the price had crept up to $260. It's time for a new roll. The natural unbleached cotton is not available anywhere on the internet that I can find at any price. The bright white bleach roll is available. The best price I can find is $572 per roll. This is more than double in 1 year. I will have to up my prices significantly to cover this increase. And this was coming from Southern Oregon. I live on the eastern side of South Dakota on a lake. Last week, snow geese have been showing up dead. Two locally. Colonies that raise turkeys had to be put down, the entire flock, for the second time this year, and it takes 12 weeks to get them to process again. 6 weeks before they start again and 6 weeks to raise. On Saturday, about 100 geese were dead, and Sunday, well over 1,000. So, probably bird flu, but that was not determined yet and told to me. From eastern North Carolina comes some good news. Our local heating air conditioning company gave out free turkeys for Thanksgiving. 450 of them. This is the third or fourth year they have done this. This veteran-owned company is fantastic in their work and customer service. You know what? We need to do a shout out for them. If they're that good, please, whoever sent this, send it in. Let's get them some business if we can. Here in the middle rural Illinois at Walmart, the lettuce from California is $1.88 a head. They also have various packages of different leaf lettuces for $2.50 to $3. After hearing the high prices and shortages other places, I almost bought some. Then I realized I don't really want any salad. This person said, just like everyone else I found over this weekend, that no one seems to be buying up the Black Friday deals. I live in mid-rural Illinois. Everything was still in stock on Sunday afternoon. I checked the items. I could not find a single one that was made in the U.S. I found towels made in India, canister set for Taiwan, regular jeans made in Mexico, and the list goes on and on. This is from central upstate New York. I stopped at McDonald's for a quick bite. They had a sign posted, and he included the sign. We apologize for any inconvenience, but we cannot get the computer screen needed to make our Frappy machine work. The computer chip shortage has made it next to impossible for us to get certain parts when things break. We appreciate your patience as we await the parts to arrive. Estimated time for some parts is 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9 months wait from the suppliers. Please understand our employees have no control over this. We thank you for your patience and understanding. I've been aware of a number of shortages in north central Wyoming for some time now, but holy cow, I was at the Sheridan, Wyoming Walmart today, and the egg section was decimated. Not only that, but the price of the eggs has gone up a lot. This is from Best Buy, Greenville, North Carolina. They are now charging 10 cents per bag if you want one. This is from Central Indiana. My mother-in-law lives in an assisted living. She pays $5,000 a month to be there, and some of her benefits are given another person's meds, or doors left open so other residents come and go in her room. Personal hygiene items come up missing. Minimal update on her welfare. I might add she has tested positive for COVID after receiving the jab and all the boosters, and she has dementia. Folks need to really keep an eye on their loved ones and don't assume all is well. It's snowing, getting really cold here, and the homeless population is going through the roof. Every time you go to the grocery store, you're looking at $100. And this is in Washington State. They were talking to some people from Canada, and that people are saying it's almost impossible to survive anymore in British Columbia. And I think they're referring to the price increases. This is North Florida. I went shopping on Black Friday. Everything was dead. Lots were at most 20% full. I also had an interaction with an emergency room in the last week. RSV is way up in adults. They say some cases are flu. They're seeing almost zero COVID, but RSV is showing up many, many times the normal rate. President Biden on Monday called on Congress to pass legislation to avert a rail strike before the December 9th. Because it could be major disruptions in the economy. He said Congress should pass the bill immediately to adopt a tentative agreement between the railroad workers and operators without any modifications or delay to avert the potential crippling national rail shutdown. Biden pleads the Congress comes amid an ongoing labor standoff that could shut down crucial shipments of food and fuel. He refers to the deal struck in September that gave some concessions to workers, but still didn't satisfy their demand for paid sick leave and less rigorous scheduling. I can't believe that some of them do not get paid sick days. Biden said his administration has been in regular touch with labor leaders and management, but sees no path to resolve the dispute at the bargaining table. Let's be clear, a rail shutdown will devastate our economy. Without freight, rail, many U.S. industries would shut down, he said, adding the union workers would be out of work, communities would struggle to get chemicals and ensure clean drinking water, and farmers and ranchers would be unable to feed their livestock. I'm going to end it there. I got many more to do. Keep prepping, keep preparing, keep a positive attitude. Every day do something positive for yourself. If it's just a small thing of buying a few things of corn, canned corn, putting them on the shelf, do whatever you can do. You can only do what you can do. So if you're looking at other preppers prepping a huge amount of food and you can't do it, don't worry about it. Do what you can do. Thanks for watching.